Welcome to LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering. I am your instructor, Jayesh Prajapati. In this session, we will discuss the subject that is Industrial Drives and Control. Let us start. We have discussed the unit number 5, that is frequency control induction motor drives. So in our last session, we have already discussed the basic concept of frequency control induction motor drives, like basic construction and working principle of induction motor. Then also we have discussed the frequency changer circuit. A frequency changer circuit having a two types, that is static frequency changer and dynamic frequency changer. So in the static frequency changer, we have already discussed the cyclone converter to convert AC voltage at one frequency to AC voltage at another frequency. Okay, with same magnitude. Okay, so that is a frequency changer circuit. And also in dynamic, we can use AC to DC converter, then DC to AC converter to vary the frequency. So that are the basic concepts that we have already discussed in our live session. So now in this session, we will discuss the content, that is inverter. Basically, inverter is a device that converts DC voltage into the AC voltage. So that is the inverter concept that we have already discussed in our power electronics. Now here we have to study the basics idea of inverter, and also we have to discuss the other types of inverters. Okay, so first we have to take, that is first type, that is a half bridge inverter. It is also called as a modified NC Murray inverter. And another type, that is full bridge inverter. Okay, that are the two basic types of inverter, half bridge and full bridge. And also we have to study, that is a voltage source inverter. Okay, so that is the content that we have to study in this session. So let us start with the half bridge inverter, like modified NC Murray inverter. So the first type, that is a half bridge inverter or modified NC Murray inverter. Basically, inverter concept is like to convert DC fixed voltage into AC voltage. So here we have to use a inverter circuit. So first of all, before we have to discuss this, we have to study the circuit diagram of half bridge inverter. So let us see the circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, you can see we have taken the HCR, like thyristor 1, T1, then thyristor 2, T2, and it is connected across the DC supply. Okay, here you can see that is the DC supply. Okay, another DC supply. So here we can use a 2 DC supply. Okay, that means it is a half bridge inverter. So if we have to use a half AC supply, that times we can use a half 2 DC supply. Okay, then you can see we have to connect the load. Okay, so that is the basic circuit diagram for half bridge. Two thyristor T1 and T2, and two batteries connected across the load. And also we have to connect the capacitor to maintain a constant DC voltage across this thyristor. Okay, so that is a basic circuit diagram. But here the topic 9 is modify NC Murray inverter. So here we have to modify the inverter circuit. So here we can use auxiliary thyristor T1A and auxiliary thyristor T2A. Also we have to use a feedback diode across the thyristor, because we know that in the inverter circuit, HCR is connected across the feedback diodes. Okay, so here we have to connect this diode in this way, the D1 and then diode D2. Okay, you can see in the figure we have connected the two diodes D1 and diode D2 across the thyristor. So always a feedback diode is used in DC to AC converters, and a freewheeling diode is used in rectifier circuit where the inductive load is used. Okay, so that is the difference between feedback and freewheeling diodes. So here in the inverter circuit, we have used two diodes D1 and D2. Now, as per the modified MC Murray inverter, we have to use auxiliary thyristor D1A, auxiliary thyristor D2A, and diode D1A and diode D2A. Okay, so that are the two auxiliary parts that we have to connect across this our circuit. So now we have to connect the circuit with the inductor, capacitors, and then it is connected with the our actual circuit. And also here we have to connect the resistor R and connect it in this way. So that is the actual circuit diagram of half bridge inverter. So it is also called as a modified MC Murray inverters. That's why we can use auxiliary thyristor D1A, D2A, and diode D1A and diode D2A. Now we have to study the basic operation of this inverter. So here we have taken a 2.8 terminal and B terminal across these capacitors. Okay. So now let us start the circuit operation by step 1, step 2. So the operation. Here, the inductor L and capacitors are known as the commutating inductor and capacitor respectively. Because inductor and capacitor are used to turn on and turn off this thyristor, that's why we can use call as the commutating inductor and capacitor. Then inductor accepts a DC voltage and provides alternating voltage of variable frequency across its load. So that is a function of inverter. Then the circuit arrangement assumes that the snowball are placed across the device to limit the dV/dt and its effect. So we have already discussed to protect our thyristor, we have connected the diode D1 and D2. That diode are called as a feedback diode, or it is called as a snowball circuit also. Okay, so here we have the snowball circuit, that is our feedback diodes. Okay. At the time of starting, the voltage across the capacitor is 0. So that are the some initial condition or some assumption that we have to discuss before the operation we have to start. So at the time of starting, voltage across the capacitor is 0. Okay. Now we have to start the operation. So that is a step 1. So in this step 1, we have to start the thyristor T1 and then thyristor T2A. Okay. So here two thyristor will be on in this step 1 or mode 1. So the current flow diagram, current will be flow in this manner. You can see in this circuit. First of all, the current is going from upward side. Then it will be on the thyristor T1, okay, and some current will be flow to the load side, and some current is flow on another direction also. So here you can see the current direction is in the two way. Okay, some direction is in this way, and some direction is this way. And also here the thyristor T1 will be on. Now some current will be go through the inductor, and the thyristor T2A is on. Okay, you can see. Okay, current will be flow. So inductor having the polarity plus and minus, and current will be flow on this direction to the T2A thyristor will be on, and this, the remaining current will be flow on this way. So that is the direction of current that can be flow in this step 1. Okay, and here you can see the thyristor T1 and T2A will be on, and inductor will be charged with this polarity. Okay, so that is the mode 1. Now in the mode 2, we have to see. First of all, we have to discuss the mode 1. That is the T1 and T2A are getting on. That already we have discussed the figure. Then a current from the DC source which partially goes through the switch T1 and the load, and the rest goes through the T1 and C and T2A. So that is explanation how the current will be flow. Okay. Here in the circuit also we have seen some current will be flow to the T1, then L, C and then T2A. Then the capacitor C is charged with A positive and B negative terminals. Okay, here capacitor having a two terminals A and B. So A is charged with a positive A polarity and B is charged with a negative polarity. The capacitor will charge to a voltage greater than the twice the voltage source VD. Okay, the input source, that is a VD, but the capacitor will be charged at twice the input voltage VD. Okay, DC voltage, whatever the DC input voltage VD, but the capacitor will be charged at twice that. Okay, with that times the capacitor across voltage is higher than the input DC voltage. So that are the operations that is done in this step 1. Now we have to discuss the step 2. So in the step 2, before we have to enter in the step 2, you can see to turn off the T1, to turn T1 off, T1A is turned on. Thus, applying positive voltage from the capacitor to the cathode of T1. That means if we have to turn off the T1, that times we have to turn on the another thyristor, that is T1A. Okay. Actually, it is a half wave inverter, but we have to use an auxiliary thyristor. So we have to use like a full wave inverters. Okay. When capacitor current exceeds the load current, the current access to the load current flow through the diode D1s. Okay. That times here, whenever the thyristor will be off, that times the inductor, polarity inductor will charge some kind of energy that will be released from this diode D1, and another thyristor T1A will be on. Okay. And the frequency of load voltage is determined by the rate at which T1 and T2 are enabled. Okay. At which time the T1 and T2 are enabled, that times the frequency of the load will be decided. Now we have to discuss this step 2. In this step 2 already we have discussed some of the important points, but here you can see the current actual flow in this step 2 will be in this way. First, the current will be go to the T1A will be on, okay, and the some current will be flow through the inductor to this way, and the diode D1 will be on, okay. Thyristor D1 will be off, and here also the T2A will be also off, and the thyristor T1A and the diode D1 will be on. So the current direction in this step 2, that will be in this manner. Okay. And here in the downward side, the current is also in this way. Okay. Capacitor C2 will provide this current direction through the diode D2. Okay. So there are the two current directions that is in the step 2 of half bridge inverter. So whenever in the exam we have to explain this topic half bridge inverter, that times you have to explain the step 1, step 2 and every current expression by this every figures, okay, and also describe with this explanation. So that is a half bridge inverter, okay, and also that is the polarity of inductors. Now the next topic, that is a full bridge inverter. The operation of full bridge inverter is look like same as a half bridge inverter, but that is a new modified MC Murray inverter circuit diagram. So here we can also use auxiliary thyristor and auxiliary diode. So in the half bridge we have used only the thyristor T1 and T2 and the auxiliary thyristor T1A and T2A, but in the full bridge inverter we have to add four thyristor T1, T2, T3, T4, and the four auxiliary thyristor T1A, T2A, T3A, and T4A. So let us see the circuit diagram. That is a circuit diagram for full bridge inverter. So let us start with the input DC supply. Okay. Here we have used only single DC supply, not a two DC supply, because that is a full bridge inverter. Okay. Then we have to use a capacitor to maintain a constant DC voltage across the circuit. Then we have used a diode 1A, auxiliary diode 1A, and auxiliary diode 2A. Okay, then here we have to use a resistor R2. Okay, and here we have to use auxiliary thyristor 1A and auxiliary thyristor 2A, T2A. Then inductor L2, then capacitor C2. Then we have to connect the load, and then we have to connect the another inductor L1 and another capacitor C1, okay, and resistor R2. So that is a circuit that we have to already explain in the half bridge. So that is similar circuit. Here auxiliary portion we have already explained. So here another two diodes, diode D2A, D3A, and then diode D4A also connected to the circuit. Then here the thyristor T1 and here the thyristor diode D1 is connected like feedback diodes. Okay, actual the thyristor D1 and then D2 and across the diode D2. Okay, so that is here we have to use a full bridge inverter. So we have also connect the another thyristor T3 and across that is T4, and across every thyristor we have to connect the feedback diodes. So you can see that the feedback diodes are connected, and here we have also used a thyristor T3A and thyristor T4A. Okay. So that is a circuit diagram for full bridge inverter. In this circuit diagram, you can see we have used only a single DC supply, capacitor. Then we have used four thyristor T1, T2, T3, T4, and across every thyristor or FCR we have connected the feedback diode D1, D2, D3 and D4 across this load. Okay. Then we have used auxiliary thyristor T1A, T2A, T3A and T4A, and every diode we have used the auxiliary diode, that is D1A, D2A, and here that is D3A and D4A. So that is the circuit diagram for full bridge inverter. If we have to explain this full bridge inverter, then we have to discuss the steps. Okay, that is step 1. To turn T1, T2A, T4 and T3A are getted on. So in this step 1, whenever we have to use a half bridge, that times we have to on only T1 and T2A, but here we have to use T1, T2A, T4 and T3A that will be on in the mode 1. Okay. Then C1 and C2 are charged with a positive and the negative polarity. In the previous half bridge inverter we have only charged capacitor C1, but here the capacitor, two capacitors, so we have to charge capacitor C1 and C2 with a positive and the negative polarity. The load voltage and load current are positive. The SS charge in C1 is drained through VD, D2A, R1, L1, C1 and D1 if there is a no load current, and through the load if there is a load current. So that is current direction that we have already discussed in the half bridge. The similar way here, the current direction will be in this way. Then the SS charge in C2 is drained through the VD, V4, L2, C2, R2 and D3. Okay, so that is the step for full bridge inverter. Then the step 2, to provide a zero voltage across the load for the part of positive half cycle, turn T1A on and thus T1 is on. The load is sorted via D2, load and T4, thus driving the voltage is 0. Then step 3, T1 and T4 are turned off by turning on T1A and T4A to prepare for the negative half cycle across the load, and the priming of commutating capacitor and getting on of T2 and T3 take place in a manner similar to the positive half cycle described in the step 1 and step 2. Okay, so actually in the full bridge inverter we have to use a half bridge inverter reference, but here in the full bridge inverter we have only explained the basic circuit diagram and the steps, step 1, step 2 and step 3. So if we have to try to explain, then you can also do the mode 1 current direction, mode 2 current direction, also you can explain by this way. But the figure is so complicated, so you can explain by single circuit diagram and then you can explain by the step 1, step 2 and then step 3. Okay, so in this session we have discussed only these things, half bridge and full bridge inverter. In the next session, we will discuss the another topics of chapter number 5, that is frequency control induction motor drives. Okay. Thank you.